best chef knows chip and casserole. Frozen food department. For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to
You're not still that.
and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want.
I use that a lot.
Four-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Emmy Award losers. They are
I'm gonna have trouble. Yes, wine spolioli. Man, it's a good day to stay inside and have some wine spolioli because it's a little moist outside.
Yeah, and one of the last things I watched for going to bed last night was the late night weather report from local station. It said expect sunny skies in the morning and rain moving in about 4 or 5 in the evening. So they're right on schedule.
I think so. So welcome, folks, to the Sip and Chew Show. On the last Sunday
Ever.
of February,
Oh, same thing.
last Sunday of February, rolling into the final week of Mardi Gras and heading straight into leprechaun season. Can't wait for that. That's
Most importantly, March Madness, baby.
there you go, and that too. And it's easy for the state of Alabama this year so far.
Yeah, half the top 4 seeds
Mm-hmm.
will be from the state of Alabama, barring another loss by Alabama. Here's the problem, though. They've got the toughest finish schedule
Mm-hmm.
of anyone in the country. They're going to lose at least one more game.
Okay.
Well, for one, they got to go to Auburn and play at Auburn.
Uh-huh.
But
That's the last game, though.
yeah, that's the last. I think Florida probably beats them next week.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's really good.
Yeah.
Florida can do something Alabama can't. Let's play
They'll
defense.
still be in. They'll still get to go.
Oh yeah.
They'll still
Yeah,
get
they might
dance.
drop to a 2 seed,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I like coming from behind, trying to hang on to number 1 spot. But anyway,
We're enjoying being the hunted. Tomorrow starts week 7 at number 1. The only other team in the conference that's ever done that's Kentucky.
what's
Already.
happened to Kentucky this year?
Not
Or
much.
You mean their
recently.
brand new coach?
Recently.
You mean their brand new coach and the brand new team that they got? John Calipari, their longtime coach, left them in the middle of the night without saying a word last year for Arkansas.
Yeah.
Granted, he was about to get fired. Calipari his career was built around recruiting, getting the best recruits in,
Mm-hmm.
not the best coach game day wise. Never has been. Well, now that everybody's allowed to recruit the way John Calipari already has, he ain't that good a recruiter anymore.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so he's an Arkansas. It's kind of the whole Nick Saban thing. When NIL happened,
See ya.
suddenly their stranglehold mysteriously disappeared.
Right.
And Kentucky has notoriously done that. I grew up a Kentucky basketball fan, but I also know that no team has spent more time on probation than Kentucky.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think K-State, when I was growing up, they seemed to have a lot of problems there. And everybody else was a K-State fan while I stayed a KU fan.
Yeah.
Just,
So during March Madness.
Yeah.
Now, we all know what goes good.
Wings.
Wings.
Yeah,
Still?
wings, March Madness.
Okay.
Absolutely. Wings, pizza, nachos.
corn dogs.
At an LSU game, of course. But they won't be going to March Madness.
Yeah.
But if you like a corn dog, I don't see why not. But
I saw something rather interesting where they took a beef, shredded beef,
mhm.
and they made it into a corn dog shape, and then they breaded the outside of that and dipped it in deep fat.
That wasn't I've seen that with a beef rib. And they dipped it in corn dog batter
Yeah,
and
this
then
was
fried it.
shredded beef. And
Huh.
They probably
was
freeze it.
huge.
Yeah, they probably freeze it to
No.
get it to hold.
No, you just I don't know what they put-
Transglutamate.
Yeah, and then they just dipped it in there, and then
Yeah, transglutamate, also known as meat glue.
Yeah.
It's a compound that when you add it to meat will make it bond together. And it's how like chicken McNuggets are made. Chicken McNuggets, if you don't know, are a liquid.
yeah,
They put the transglutamate in it and it allows it to set back up, the proteins in it to set back up in a firm shape.
I saw a video on that once where the pink glob thing. And
Yeah,
it's like
pink-
I'm done.
pink
I can't-
goo
I
is
can't
what it's
do
called,
another
pink goo.
McNugget.
Well, you
Probably
would-
doesn't-
They throw the whole chicken in. I mean, the beak, the Everything is
Yeah.
in it, and they just mash it till it turns into a liquid.
Well, you probably wouldn't do good at what our friends Chris Sherrill and David Hubble went to yesterday, and
Oh,
John
good. Chris
Colson.
was there.
Huh?
Good. Chris was there.
Yeah, and a couple other people.
Probably demoing would be my.
They were all there cooking, and it's called a John Besh's.
Not John Bash.
I mean John Folst's bourbon and boucherie at White Oak Plantation in outside of Baton Rouge. I went 2 years ago, and I missed it last year, and I was going to go this year, and I forgot all about it. Then I bought a house and couldn't go.
So, but they certainly aren't serving something like that, are they?
Well, Chris, he did a rooster and raccoon soup or stew yesterday. What he did? Every household's had a rooster and raccoon stew.
Every household in 1935 had a rooster and raccoon soup.
Yeah.
Boucheries happen in every state in the South, most of the Midwest. They just didn't call them boucheries anywhere but Louisiana. The rest of the country, it's called hog killing.
This just means
Yeah,
butcher.
and it just meant when spring came along, somebody was going to get their biggest hog, slaughter it. Everybody in the neighborhood would come over, help, and they break the entire thing down in one day to everything they're going to use, including rendering the fat to make lye soap. My dad remembers that. He said it stank, and he said, I hated washing with the lye soap because it burned.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago when I was there, we had beaver tail, and it was cooked over coals and open fire, and it had been marinating in bear fat.
Right.
So sounds delicious.
Beaver tail confit.
But it has some interesting items.
As long as the words in the menu don't include liver, tongue.
You don't like lingua?
Oh, lovely. Do you not like dirty rice?
I love dirty rice when it's just beef.
There's
But
no
the-
beef in dirty rice.
Well,
It
the
is
beef that I
pork
do
and
does.
chicken. When you get it anywhere else, it is chicken liver and chicken gizzards all ground up.
Yeah.
And it's
It tastes
delicious.
good that way.
See,
And
I
also
had
very
chicken
nutritious.
gizzards. I just couldn't. But I like original dirty beef as well. So yeah, I've tolerated that. But that's like one of my favorite things is shepherd pie. Original shepherd pie is made with
Lamb.
lamb. And sometimes I'm trying to think what the stomach, what they call that, the word for stomach. I can't remember what that.
Pork belly?
No, and it's anyway.
Tripe.
Tripe, and it's like it's good, but don't tell me what it is.
Tripe goes into menudo.
Yeah.
The traditional Mexican hangover cure.
Yeah.
David Hubble was showing a video of the guest of honor. Big old sow. Big old pig.
John?
No, this huge pig that was gonna be the center of the table for the day.
Have an apple?
Not yet.
Didn't have an apple.
They hadn't
in his mouth?
introduced him to the apple yet. He was
Oh.
still wandering around rooting up the straw in his pen before they.
Root.
Seriously getting to know your food on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they had when I was there 2 years ago, they had some interesting combinations there, and but I think the beaver tails really put like, wow, really beaver tail? Wow, it looked like flounder after they peeled it. Looked just like a flounder.
I think some folks are probably looking at the groundhog right now, pretty going, that's looking pretty tasty. Yeah.
Well, they're consumed in other countries.
See what?
Groundhogs consumed in other countries.
Yeah.
We're just the weird one. It's weird that we don't eat these other animals,
I
y'all.
think they had squirrel.
Don't say that other people are weird for eating goat and stuff
Well,
like
that's
that.
Oh, I love goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publix carries goat in the frozen meat
Oh,
section.
cool.
I found that last night.
Cool.
Not just goat cheese.
Oh, they serve goat cheese too, but yeah, this was the chunks of goat cubed up with the bone still in it, like in Jamaican food.
Oh, okay.
I don't get that. I love Jamaican food, but they don't break a chicken apart according to its pieces. Pop the joints and you have the individual pieces.
Right.
They just take the chicken in a cleaver and go down it, so every bite's got broken bone in it.
251-343-0106. Give us a call or text us.
Or don't. We don't care.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Roberto Durante, before five, gonna get some money.
Roberto Durante.
Yeah. Roberto Durant was.
Brought to you by Robert Scale
There we
Power
go.
Equipment.
The thing, this is in your
And service dealer
face.
for all
It's in
lawn
your
and garden
face.
brands.
That's all our
Robert
face.
Scale Power
I'm just getting
Equipment,
my head.
59 South, right
The
at the square by the
part.
Catholic Church.
Somebody accurately described Alabama's style of play yesterday. It's just like the NBA. It's all offense, no defense.
One of the best flowering trees
Really
for the
is.
Coast and our most spectacular.
Although somebody showed a clip of Alabama setting the screen, and the forward's coming up to guard the guy, and each Alabama player just grabs him by the arm and holds him.
Right.
Yeah, no whistle, of course. Kentucky fans were like, he goes, Alabama was getting calls for fouls against us. We didn't have a player within 5 feet of the guy. Welcome to Tuscaloosa. Yeah, all fans around the school is like, it's like that anytime you go to Tuscaloosa. In any sport.
Yeah. Yeah, they talked about, issues having their issues. It was always an advantage playing home. Part of the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Also save $100 to $1,000 on select colors and 15% off all in-stock
And,
parts.
Since last Saturday, Chad Baker Bazaar from Auburn has received 3 technical fouls. 1 for getting shoved at Alabama.
Right.
1 for smiling while walking down the court.
Right.
And last night for getting shoved in the back.
Right. Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. He's been the recipient of 2 flagrant fouls, but they hit him with it. And with all this lawsuit stuff being allowed in the NCAA, I hope he goes after the officials for racial discrimination.
Another quick tip from
Because that's what it is. They
Well,
don't. I mean, the official that threw him out of the NCAA tournament last year had been caught saying, first foul he gets, I'm throwing him out of the game before the game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh, officiating across college basketball is just horrible. Because the refs have determined that, oh, every time I go to review, I'm on national TV. And last night they were reviewing stuff like,
Get discovered.
I said, I know he swiped the ball to block it, but it looked like he might have come near somebody's face. So we need to stop and review this. And they review it, his foot's 2 feet from somebody's face. So they're just doing it to get on TV.
But they're all right.
Not enough.
Not with
Then with the
face
can,
forward.
yeah.
And
And the
What kind of psycho?
Never had it is that issue you guys were referring to. Haggis, that was it. That was exactly what I was trying to think of, haggis.
Oh.
Not the stripes, the haggis.
Yeah.
We'll keep you up to date on all things prep along the go.
Yeah, that's all ordered meat, basically. It was what was left over right before the winter, yeah.
Right,
And
yeah.
it goes into a sheep's stomach and steamed.
The lining.
Yeah, it's got a lot of barley and stuff. It's not great.
All righty. Hey, folks, we want to recognize something on the show today.
There it is right there. I recognize it.
Somebody's getting older. Somebody just keeps aging.
Everybody's getting old.
That's true. But we
Except
want
Paul
to
Rudd.
wish our own Stu Reb Donald
Hey, that's me.
happy birthday. He looks great for 104 years old.
157.
Oh, okay. You get Social Security still? So, anyway.
I'm getting anti-social security.
Anyway. No, happy
He's on
birthday,
the-
Stu. I
Thank
hope you had a great day. I know you went to LeMoyne's
Yep.
the other night. Got
We
treated
didn't
like a
talk
king.
about that.
Yeah. So, well, happy birthday to that. And before you talk about, we want to say also that today is National Tootsie Roll Day, and today is National.
The dance?
Huh?
The dance?
No,
Okay.
the chewy.
Are you
chocolate
sure?
thing.
Are
Oh,
you
I'm
sure?
certain.
Okay.
I saw the pictures. And today is Banana Nut Bread Day. So
Ooh,
look
what's
at
your
you.
banana nut?
But Stu's birthday was yesterday, so he's already a day older.
Yeah.
And he's looking it too. So
Yeah. I feel
anyway,
like I've been 57 forever now.
anyway, happy birthday, Stu.
Thank you.
Tell
thank
us
you.
about your meal the other night.
I had food.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah.
Why did you go on? Was it Valentine's too? No, that wasn't.
No.
Why did you go
On my off
on a
day? Why did I
parade?
go on my off day?
Yeah, I guess.
I forgot all about.
Mardi-
Apparently, I did because I made the reservation for 5:30. What I didn't know was they were going to have the streets closed off, so I couldn't get to the hotel for some stupid reason 4 hours before the parade started.
Oh my gosh.
We have got to figure out how to have parades without blocking streets.
That's not possible.
Then do away with the parades.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. But I ended up having to park down at Fort Condi and hoof it back. I couldn't take advantage of the valet parking, which was okay. It's only like $6. That's nothing.
Walk off the dinner, you know.
That's just
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Yeah, seriously.
That's
I mean,
another
that's not a
hike video
big deal.
for
If 6 blocks is a problem for you to walk, you need to walk more.
That's another hike
That's
video.
nothing. That's less than half a mile.
Did you videotape it so you could?
Yes,
another
as
show.
a matter of fact, that will be this episode's Delta Safari.
Hike it to the hood.
Yeah, so when I realized I couldn't turn to get to valet parking, I called them and let them know, hey, I'm running a few minutes late. No problem, Mr. Donald. And I said, I have a reservation at 5:30. Would this be Mr. Donald? Yes, it would.
Woo.
And it's Chef. No, I didn't say that. And second person to greet me at the table, Wesley Simpson. Good
Lovely
old
gentleman.
Yeah, great chef, very talented chef, but is doing front of the house management for them. Apparently, looks spiffy. Still got that Elvis Presley hairdo.
Ah,
Yeah.
got the coif.
Yeah. Whereas I've got the Kojak. But they greeted me with a
Who loves you, baby?
yeah, they greeted me with a complimentary flute of champagne and Ripple, Michigan.
Oh.
Actually, it was a bright, crisp, dry champagne, really nice. I don't know them well enough to tell you what it was, and I didn't ask. But
It was free.
yeah, it was free, which was nice. But it tasted to me a lot like the what's the one from New Mexico?
Oh, the Gruet.
Yeah, Gruet. Very similar to the Gruet.
Okay.
I liked it very much.
I do like Gruet.
Yeah, it's very good.
Phenomenal job.
And I started off with instead of getting something real fatty, because I know I'm about to eat a huge steak, I did the tuna crudo. Crudo is an Italian preparation of fish where it is sliced thinly and served raw, and traditionally drizzled with good olive oil, a little sea salt. And you just go like this. But they did theirs with a salsa vinaigre, which is another way that the French say vinaigrette, which is also a French word. Different word for
So they got a French word for a French word?
yeah. And it had some
Golly.
pickled sweet chilies with it. Absolutely terrific. And then it drizzled again with really good olive oil. And I was like, that's what I want. I love at a sushi bar. I'm always good, no matter what kind of roll I get. At some point, there's going to have to be some plain old raw tuna dipped in soy sauce because it's phenomenal. So this was along that same line. Then I followed in Becky's footsteps, and I got the Delmonico, which for those who don't know, the Delmonico is a thick cut ribeye, and this one was 75-day dry aged. So for it to be an 18-ounce steak when they served it to me, that means when they put it in there to dry age, it was between 23 and 25 ounces.
Wow.
That's how much water it lost. Everything left is steak.
Yeah.
And Wes told me they started out doing 60 and just decided, what the heck, we'll do 75.
Wow.
And with it, I got the foie gras butter.
I've had that.
As my gift. Now, you got the filet when you went there. Had I been there with you, I would have recommended you just got the foie gras, the straight foie gras, because filet
I got it twice. I got this one thing, and I got the butter on it. I may have got the butter on both things. But.
Yeah, the butter was the little yellow thing. The foie gras would have been about the size of a deck of cards or a little bigger. But when you're dealing with a filet, there's so little fat that you have to introduce fat to really get the best out of it. Usually it's done with a sauce like a béarnaise, drizzle of olive oil. Foie gras is a perfect pairing with filet because it's all fat. It's fatty duck liver that even you might like. Because it hits your tongue immediately, melts. Its
had that.
its melt
Oh,
point is like 99 degrees, 98 degrees. So when it
Almost
hits you,
become a light salt type of flavor, yeah.
and but I got the foie gras butter because I didn't need that much fat with a ribeye. Now the thing with the ribeye, when you get the Delmonico, when you get a ribeye thick cut, the reason you want that is because you want all the char of a well done steak, but you want it red in the center, and that's how you do it.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, Mike, the char on the fat, oh my gosh, was crispy. The fat was crispy when you bit into it. Absolutely fantastic.
Was this the Mason Hills?
Yeah, everything with the
Delmonico?
Wagyu there is Mason Hills.
Yeah.
Farm, which
For those that don't know, that's down in Grand Bay.
Grand Bay.
Grand Bay, and you can go down there. They have a store. You can go down there, and they got one in Ocean Springs too.
Yep. But and for my side with that, I got the foraged mushrooms, butter, fresh crushed garlic, a little white wine in there too, a little spritz of lemon. Almost tasted like escargot.
Now, what
Yeah.
makes them forged?
That means someone went out and foraged them. Foraging means to gather something.
Good.
That means someone went to the woods to get these. They weren't bought from a store. They weren't from a farm that, produces mushrooms.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like Tan the Mushroom Man
Mm-hmm.
went out, found them, and sold them to
Right.
them. and there was all different kinds of oysters. Or mushrooms. And some of them could be oyster mushrooms, shiitake. Well, we're not going to get
you
shiitake
started
here.
off with the really thin type of meat you were talking about.
Tuna.
The tuna. Okay.
Tuna.
Is that a form of carpaccio? Or
No. Carpaccio is a beef dish which can be applied to tuna.
Okay.
It is lightly seared on the outside.
Okay.
And then sliced thin. It's called carpaccio because Carpaccio was an Italian painter who was famous for doing all of his paintings predominantly in red.
Okay.
And since when you do the carpaccio, you tend to do carpaccio with tenderloin, which is filet, or I have done it with beef short rib, and it worked really well. And when I do it with the beef short rib, I blacken the outside.
Okay.
And it is rarer than rare. All you're doing is lightly cooking the outside to get a little, just a little bit. Because if there is any bacteria, the outside's where it's going to be.
So is that, and what's the difference between, I'm trying to think of prosciutto?
Prosciutto is a ham.
Prosciutto, thank you.
Yeah, that's a ham that is air and salt cured for about 2 years.
Okay.
In a climate controlled place where there's no bacteria and no humidity.
Okay.
Usually or traditionally, that environment would be hanging from the rafters of a bar up in the Alps.
Or earlier when we were talking about, you said tripe, Marty said never had it. Is that the dish that you guys were talking about haggis? That was what I was trying to bring out. Thanks for the text.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had haggis.
I have had haggis.
Yeah.
It's like,
The more Plowman's pudding you can put on there, the better. Plowman's pudding tastes like the filling in mincemeat pie.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Well, go to the Scottish Society, the Burn Supper, which is probably coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
well,
Okay.
it was March.
Yeah. It's usually late February or March. I think his birthday's like March 8th, but they kind of juggle it around. 251-343-0106. Mike, what the heck is that?
That is a phone and number you can text or call us. And when we come back, we're going to have Danny Calametti talking about some stuff going on.
Some stuff.
Some stuff.
Wow.
This information update brought to you by Roy.
Steve, it is so hard
Value and
getting all of these football
construction
fans
and
to
commercial
comprehend how
applications.
different basketball is. Because the Auburn fans are like, all of a sudden the offense just isn't there anymore. It's like these guys don't care. Guys, basketball season is way more grueling than football season.
Oh God, yes.
Football season produces more
Hello,
injuries, but basketball
How are you,
season
sir?
takes more energy. Everybody's limping down.
Who has the best SEC hockey team?
Yeah.
Auburn's pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hang on a
last
second,
week
we'll
we
get you on in the
whooped
break.
y'all's ass in hockey too.
But
Talking about field hockey.
No, ice hockey. It's ice hockey. It is not. It's an intramural sport, sort of.
So
They're club teams. It's
Club
not,
team,
yeah, it's not NC. They're not the part of the NCAA sanctioned hockey, which there is. Just the SEC schools have not elevated their programs to the point where the NCAA. Right. Yeah, Auburn and Alabama both have ice hockey.
I know that. I think they're trying to do that with the girls' flag football. Is they're trying to make it recognized. So, it's
If they
not
do,
a
we
club.
get all the fucking soccer.
PDA and this station.
I had the worst dream.
Belmont,
We were in
that I
a car
went to,
crash, and
because
the
we
kids
did
and I
not
were
have
on
a
our
football
own. We
team.
had to move out of the house.
When
because
Title
I couldn't
IX
afford
went
it
through, we
anymore.
had to add more men's
My brother
schools
was saying he got life
because
insurance
we
and
had a
he
women's soccer team,
only
which
took
there's like 27 players on a soccer
$2
team.
in coverage for around $2
And
a
there's
day.
13 on a
All
basketball
online,
team.
no medical
So we
exam.
had to
He just
add
answered
men's
a few more
soccer,
questions right from
or
his
they were
house.
going to have to cut women's scholarships.
We barely made money in Kansas, if it was an A at all. We had basketball, football, that was in track, that was it.
You think Bill Self retires this year?
I'm sorry.
You think Bill Self retires this year? They're not even going to be ranked. If they're on the bubble to get into the tournament, they'll get in because of Kansas on the jersey. Same reason North Carolina's going to get in. Neither one of them's good enough to be there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much, it's not been.
He's been a good coach for a long time.
Oh, really? The past couple of years, you can tell it is.
Yeah.
There's been
And the well, Calipari has been garbage for about 5 years here. So Kentucky fans were so happy to have Arkansas to get him until he came back in there and kicked their ass. That was fun.
Yeah, I think the past 2 years have been very noticeable. The past 4 years have been.
Izzo's overdue. Izzo's a phenomenal coach, but he's overdue.
Yeah, and then we'll see.
He needs to take a clue from his best buddy Nick Saban to get on that, because they were best friends.
Yeah.
Listen on air, online, and on demand. FM Talk 106.5. They are the dynamic duo of writing. Sid and Jude. Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Huh?
Say some words.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh, I was reading about John I. Broome being
Okay.
player of the year.
So, are we supposed to have a caller? Yeah, right over there. Danny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Good. What you got going on this week?
Well, if you'll keep it a secret from the Chamber of Commerce, I don't want, I follow that etiquette. All we talk about is Mardi Gras and Mobile this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this little thing going on in Gulfport, Mississippi, and a friend of mine, Chef Jean-Paul Lavalier,
No,
is a bacon champion.
yes, he is.
Reached out to me and asked me if I would help line up some judges for the Gulf Coast Bacon and Beer Festival that is this Saturday evening in Gulfport, Mississippi. So they've actually got a couple of World Food Championship tickets they're giving away, and bacon they're not
Ooh.
giving away.
I've heard of it.
So I got him going over there. I know Greg Thompson he's a experienced WFC judge from over in Orange Beach, and he's helping with a lot of these events I've been doing lately.
Yeah, I think I've judged.
Yeah, and then we got this other guy who knows a little bit about competing in World Food Championships, and he's also been known to run around a little bit with Mike Balin. It's this guy named Roy Sewell, who is the Butch Cassidy of
The Emperor of Butch Cassidy's.
yeah.
The mayor of Flochelle.
Yeah. Those guys are heading up my destiny. But just to give you, so Chef Jean-Paul was last year's bacon champion, so he knows about World Food Championship stuff. And so we got Roy, who was top 10 in sandwich a couple of years ago. He knows about it. Island View Casinos, Islanders is one of the big sponsors. They have a former world champion, overall world champion Chef Jackie Sewell.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, so she's one of the big names down there. They'll be competing. They have a couple of chefs from there competing. So it's going to be the competition's going to be tough, but it's not just the competitors. There's chocolate contests, there's cocktail contests, there's a whole bunch of beer sampling going on. There's some cocktail sampling going on, and it's for a great cause.
Mike, you're staying in Roy's hotel room Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I'm staying in Biloxi.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah. So it's Saturday, and unfortunately I can't go to it because I've got chamber of commerce responsibilities here. So I've got to do that. But it's going to be a great event, and it's for a good cause. They have what they call the Mississippi Heroes, and they build ramps for people who need wheelchair ramps. And they do just a lot of different stuff for the community over there. So it's I know I'm going to get asked, so you can find more information at gcbeerbaconfest.com. gcbeerbaconfest.com. So it's I've not been before. I know that I saw on the list there our friends at Braided River are going to be one of the breweries over there.
Oh, cool.
So lots of good.
I imagine Lazy Magnolia will be there too, who really started the craft beer craze on the Gulf Coast.
I suspect so.
Yeah. Oh, that pecan ale they have. Oh.
David, I started pricing this morning. I fried a whole
For the beer?
No, the bacon. I fried a whole pack of bacon this morning. So I practiced this morning.
Yeah, I know who he's talking to, but we'll just figure that out later too. My own ego, of course. But anyway, one of the things I was saying earlier, I like the fact that the level of conversation, the intro was not about cow flatterers this time, but there's a lot of interesting. You got Joey Mason, my buddy Joey Mason, with Mason Hill Farm.
Yeah,
that was a great conversation. I do want to try and get to the butchery. That, of course, it was yesterday, so I couldn't. It's just too much Mardi Gras stuff going on for me to try and get over there. And so I told David Hubble I wanted to try and get over there. Maybe next year that'll work out. And then talked about Chris Sherrill. We took Chris with us to an event we did down in Puerto Rico a couple years ago, and he spent all his time trying to run around and see if he could snag an iguana.
That's my boy.
Roasted an iguana. We never were able to do that.
Chicken of the trees.
But we blew them away with our Alabama Gulf shrimp. Of course, they had no clue what we were doing with over there when we brought in some good fresh Alabama Gulf shrimp. And the chefs at the Sheraton that was hosting the event, their shrimp was boxed up with Vietnamese or some other kind of stuff. And we pulled out our Alabama Gulf shrimp, and they were pretty damn jealous about it. So,
hey, if you need a judge for that.
Yeah, anything in Puerto Rico, we're down. Especially in the wintertime, right, Mike?
Yeah, right.
I went there another time with Dr. Lady Javier, and she knows everybody in Puerto Rico, and we ended up going to we were invited to one of their TV chefs. Took some shrimp over there and went to his house, and he fixed it several different ways. Just was doing it up. We were in a taxi the next day and just happened to catch his radio show. We're driving in the taxi, and he's bragging about this fabulous Alabama Gulf shrimp that he got, that he served us the night before. So that was a pretty
excellent.
That was cool. So anyway, but we'll have, just so y'all know, we'll have some other events coming up here soon enough that we'll be cooking up. We've got the American Cancer Society stuff coming up at the end of March. That'll be here before we know it, and that'll be another big time event there. So this is the spring festival time. So we are going to be putting something together with Billy Stitt over at Billy's place. Don't have the details yet, but we're trying to nail that down for a May event over there.
He's no stranger to bacon.
Yeah, that'll probably focus on bacon as well. So anyway, but we got a few irons in the fire coming up in the near future, and you know, it's all about the fun of the food, and usually a good cause tied to it as well. So that's all good. So.
Yeah, and we got spring right around the corner here. You're about to be up to your knees, probably up to your eyeballs in cooking competitions, aren't you?
Absolutely. Now, price that some of us have to pay, but I always willing to take one for the team, you know.
You poor thing.
Yep, there you go. All right, guys. So what else is going on in your world?
Hey, man, went to LeMoyne's Thursday night.
I've got to get over there. I have not been there, and I've got to get that on my list.
Do you have a coin?
I had a coin. Mike had a coin. Do you have a coin?
I don't have a coin.
I guess you'll have to pay for it out of your pocket then. I had a seat right on the window on Government Street, so I got to watch the Mardi Gras parade the best way possible. Indoors with a glass of Hibiki Japanese Harmony whiskey in my hand.
Yeah, all right.
Have you tried the Japanese whiskey, Danny?
I have not.
Oh, yeah. Run by there and drop half $100 on a glass.
Oh,
Well,
talk to him real sweet.
My buddy Mike is helping me out with a couple of champagne selections for a little event I've got coming up pretty soon, so that'll be fun. I appreciate it.
Really look at that. Look at that Gruet from New Mexico. It's owned by a French company from Champagne.
With a long history too,
Yeah,
several
long
hundred
history.
years.
Yeah, and they make some incredible champagne Method Noir.
Yeah, they found a spot in New Mexico where the climate, the soil, and everything pretty much matches what they were doing in France.
And that sounds good. And so, you know, what I will do is I will buy her one of the expensive bottles and the rest of it.
Absolutely, that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it.
For New Mexico stuff. So,
which is not shabby at all.
Yeah. Mike says you can get him 4 or 5 magnums of Cooks. He's happy.
There you go. That's right.
after the first one,
Yes, they are. So,
all right, guys.
well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you calling in, buddy, and I look forward to next Saturday. Can't wait.
All right, I got you work lined up for you, so it ought to be a fun competition.
I'm gonna practice all week.
You said the word work and all the color left Mike's face.
I'll fill it back up with bacon.
It's gonna be at the warehouse there in Gulfport, right?
No, it's gonna be at where's it at? It's gonna be at I got a new location. Where is it? It's not the warehouse. Let me get to that page.
You caught him off guard.
Yeah. But that's at the Gulf Coast Beer and Bacon Festival. They can look that up online, right?
Yeah, Richburg Hall and Sully's Gulfport.
Okay.
Okay. Sully's Gulfport. So Sully's is supposed to be a good place over there. I've not been there, but all right, guys. Appreciate it.
Looking forward to it, buddy. Take care.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
So Michael, I left one thing off.
Yeah.
Since I was going to wait for the crowd to dissipate from the parade,
Mm-hmm.
make traffic easier, I went ahead and ordered dessert, which is something I don't really usually do. I got that opera cake.
Opera cake?
Yeah, it's like a sponge cake. It had macerated oranges, an orange gel, a candied orange slice, chocolate. It was really great. It's not a huge piece.
No.
Because all the ingredients are fantastic, so you don't need a big chunk of it.
Right.
Exactly what I needed, but really good. Really
Why
good.
the name opera cake? I wonder.
Fancy.
Uh,
Because it's white with the black and it looks kind of checkerboard, I guess. But that's what they chose to call it.
okay.
And
I
it
didn't
may
know if there was some
it may
history there.
there may be some history. I didn't have a chance to look it up. I just went, oh, it's like the opera cake.
You know, the whole place, the Admiral and the dining experience, the foyer, all that. It's a history lesson
It is.
that you learn about Mobile and the founding people, the French who
I
founded.
got a math lesson for you.
Oh yeah.
251-343-0106. We'll call or text us.
Chicken ice cream fish. I like ice cream. What's this? This is juice. This is juice.
It's just thawed out sherbet.
Pardon?
Juice. It's just thawed out sherbet.
The Mardi Gras spirit was something that sparkles and shines with the colors of the season.
What'd you say? What we go?
Joe South.
Hey, buddy.
Happy
Can you
Mardi
call-
Gras.
can you call in?
Patriotic Jewelers.
Right after commercials, I'll text you the number again.
First ball in 1996.
Talk about the Feed the Cops.
Great addition to the Portable
All right.
Oh, hey,
Thanks.
Tony.
The aquatic theme of the organization.
Oh,
the emblem
there it
mermaid,
is.
which also ties
Classic
to
French
Greek
opera cake is made with
mythology.
layers of almonds,
Emblem
fudge,
floats
and
side
coated with
with trident,
coffee, almost like a
seahorses, and other
tiramisu,
various
isn't it?
underwater creatures.
Here's
Husbands
that
and
orange
boyfriends
one.
of the members serve as marshals.
Yes,
on
there's
the
the
back.
chocolate and orange are such a great pair.
Capes. The 300-member female organization has.
Yeah, here we go. What's the difference between
1997,
opera
over the
and
decades has constructed
tiramisu?
15
Yeah,
unique
the
flights that change
Opera
annually
cake has a
with the
French
theme
origin,
parade.
while
This
tiramisu
year's theme
is
is Luster, Lotus, and Lanyard.
Wow.
And the parade begins at
How about that?
6:30 and follows
I did
around
not hear that. I'll tell you that.
Hall at the convention center.
Opera cake has a French origin, while tiramisu is
Each
Italian.
bag must be clear without exception, and be sure to get there on time. Neptune's daughters are
Made
known for
layers
their
of almond
well-choreographed
sponge
and
cake,
entertaining
So
tableaux.
Tommy
Get
Sawyer
yours
log with
today. So grab
gosh,
a good seat and don't be
coffee
late.
French buttercream,
When a
He's
special
got me
occasion calls for an
buttercream
extra
kind
touch, you'll always find
Covered
it
with
at the Carrot
chocolate with
Patch. You'll find the largest selection of pre-owned Rolex watches in the
Ah,
world.
it originates from its layers resembling the levels of an opera house. There you go.
And one-of-a-kind pieces.
It's gonna be Tony from Bob's Downtown Diner.
Oh,
But
they
you'll
did.
never want to take off. Carrot Patch Jewelers on Hillcrest. When you find your perfect match, come see us at the Carrot Patch.
You know you want one, a new e-bike. So come see me at Adventure Earth Bicycles for your new two-wheel freedom machine. Adventure Earth Bicycles in Midtown at the corner of Airport.
I'm assuming this is Tony.
This is.
Hold on a second, Tony, we'll get you on the air.
You got it, buddy.
Arts, dining, and entertainment that defines excellence on both sides of Mobile Bay. Each month's issue is filled with our unique Southern Alabama culture, beautifully captured and told through engaging articles and stunning photography. When you subscribe to Mobile Bay Magazine, you'll be swept into the pages where recipes, familiar places, and faces and untold stories abound. Start your journey today by visiting mobilebaymag.com. That's mobilebaymag.com.
Thursday morning at 7:50, join Captain Bobby Abrascato for the FM Talk 1065 Fishing Report. Lights out. Most recognized guide and tournament angler put you on the fish this weekend. The FM Talk 1065 Fishing Report is brought to you by McConnell Buick GMC on Dobbin Street. Go to McConnellAutomotive.com to see their new and used inventory. And by McCoy Outdoor Company, locally owned and family operated for over 40 years. Thursday morning at 7:50, the Fishing Report with Captain Bobby Abrascato on FM Talk 1065. For more than a decade, they are the dynamic duo of dining. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 1065.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, I was going to talk about an event coming up next Sunday on Joe Cane Day, but I figured the guy who started it all and invented it and all that proprietary of it, I figured he'd do a better job of talking about it. Straight from the horse's
In other words, you're pushing your work off on somebody else.
Yeah, Tony Sawyer. Bob's Downtown
Morning,
Diner.
buddy.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good. Just I feel like I got mold and fungus growing on me. It's been raining so much, but
You mean for 2 whole hours?
Get it, you know what I mean?
that's it. That's it. But hey, tell us about next Sunday. What you're doing?
Next Sunday is Joe Cane Day.
Yeah.
And every year what I do, along with, well, I do it, but I reach out to folks down inside the Mardi Gras loop businesses to provide meals for our law enforcement first responders on Joe Cane Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this, my 9th year doing this. And I thoroughly enjoy it. This is really what makes Mardi Gras for me personally.
Yeah.
Who helps you out serve that meal with those through a company, or who helps serve those meals with it?
So what I do is I reach out to volunteers through the Mobile Harley Davidson Hog chapter, and those are the folks that will come in and help me prepare the meals, along with other individuals through the year that really enjoy helping law enforcement and our first responders. And so all the product is donated 100%. And that's, like I said, that's through the restaurants and bars that are inside the Mardi Gras loop that I always have asked donations for. And I take it upon myself to make sure that they get fed.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's a thrill, it's a joy, it's something that brings closure to me and makes me feel good that I can do that and provide them a good meal.
Almost sounds like a potluck.
It's not a potluck. That's damn sure. So yeah, this year we have 600 meals that we've got to provide, and we typically, we're usually around that 600 meal mark every year. This year's a little bit more because MPD has hired and transformed citizens into law enforcement officers, which is awesome. But they're growing their force a little bit more. So yeah, we take care of these people. I mean, they stick their lives on the line every day for us, in and out of this country, and it's just a blessing that we can help in a little way. That little bit does help, and they are very appreciative.
Well, I think it's a great cause, and I know they appreciate it, and it's some of them probably don't even think about eating when they get down here, but it's great that we're providing this, or your volunteers are, and I know my company, we're going to be donating some stuff, and I'll have that to you this week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, all good, man. You think about, Mardi Gras, it's a grind for us down inside this Mardi Gras loop, for 2.5 weeks a year. And really and truly, Showcase Day is the busiest day of the whole year.
Yeah.
And they're all on, they all have orders to be on, on their post, and some of them will get on their post and won't be able to leave. If they got to go PT or anything like that, they've got to get somebody to come in and help them out and use the restroom. But they won't have that opportunity to go get a good meal.
Right.
And, this started a long time ago with the Mounted Patrol. That's how it all got started, with Mounted Patrol. Those guys there in year number 2 that I was at the restaurant, they didn't have any meals. They didn't get fed through the department because they're on horses, and I really felt bad. And so I took it upon myself just to go ahead and feed them all. In that year, I want to say there was like 30 meals that I cooked there at the restaurant. I gave it to them. I didn't want their money. It's not about money, It's about giving back to the community. And I did. And that's what really started, 9 years ago. So every year we grow, and there's, more people coming out of the woodwork. I don't ask for a lot, I really don't ask for anything. If you want to help, you can help. If you can help by give them money so that we can buy the product, or you can buy the product and, give it to me and I'll make it happen. And then we also, send over carrots and apples to the barn for the horses.
That's awesome.
For our Mobile Police Department horses, but also the other horses that come in from other parts of the country, to make sure that those horses have a little treat after their long days out on the road. A
lot of people don't realize that those horses that come in from another part of the country, and law enforcement officers, they're teaching the horses how to do crowd control. Right. And they're actually in kind of a training session.
Yeah, to watch them, I love going over to the horse barn and watching them train, because they'll bring a helicopter in, they blow smoke, they noises, all this stuff. A lot of those horses are scared, but by the end of their training, they get used to it, which is what they need. Because in a crowd, when they get really crowded like that, and all these noises are going on, they get sidetracked and they can't do their job. Well, for that officer on that horse, they need that horse to understand and be calm through the scenario.
Right.
And it's awesome. It's really awesome.
I bet.
What they do, and the training that they give those horses here in Mobile is pretty damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think it's a great thing that you're doing. You have been doing what for 9 years now, you said, and man, that's just awesome. I know I volunteered, I think 2 years, and some days it gets real cold in that building and freezing, and but you just keep moving, don't think about it.
Yeah. And what's really neat about this whole thing is, when I set it up in the mornings over at the temple, we've got 2 assembly lines.
Mhm.
Let's just say there's 50 volunteers, 25 on each side,
Mhm.
and each volunteer has one specific job to do. We set it up as a big conveyor belt,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
these to-go boxes. So one person's putting the to-go boxes down, next person's putting a hamburger bun down, next person's doing lettuce, next person's tomato,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, all the way down the line. So we can knock out this year 600 meals in, like, let's say, 45 minutes, and that's from start to
Wow.
stop.
Yeah.
And when we're done, you got 600 meals are done and wrapped. And now these officers are coming by, whether they come by individually or they come by and pick up, 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 for their squad or their
Yeah.
group that they're in. It makes it makes it worth it. It really
Absolutely. Well, buddy, I appreciate you calling in, and I hope I get to see you that day. And take care, stay safe out there. Tell your staff I love them. We do.
Thank you. Yeah, bye, Robert, really.
Kiss that doggy for us.
Yeah. Tell them I'll be down once Mardi Gras is over.
Tell them we'll be with me that morning too.
Yeah.
Coming down.
She's a good dog. Yes, she is. She's a good dog. Yeah. All right, Tony. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras, buddy.
All right, folks. Get out there and support Tony and all those who have helped participate. Just support local, be local, buy local. And
Be patient with those restaurant workers in downtown
Oh, my
Mobile, 'cause
God,
they
yeah.
are getting whooped right
they
now.
are. And what else?
Oh,
How about provolone?
provolone, yeah. And some music.
A little early. It's all good.
Yeah,